AFTV, we've got Curtis here. I bet he's looking. No, surely you're not going to rub it in on me with Mourinho. Of course not. Because you did want Mourinho actually to be Arsenal manager, and I guess Mourinho has today got the win, another win over Arsenal. He seems to be really good at pulling that off, but you've got to say we handed it to him, didn't we, today?
As we do on a regular basis, Rob. I mean, the thing for me, I feel like it's good to be positive about the manager you've got in charge. That's fine. But we have to be realistic. I think a lot of people have overhyped Arteta's achievement since he's become the manager. I've heard, he's turned us around. He's getting the best out of us. The reality is, when he took over, Rob, we were 8th in the table. Unai Emery left us 8th. We're now 9th. So the reality is the league table says we haven't improved. We lost to Olympiacos in the last 32. That was a disaster. We'd got to the semi-final and the final the years before. So we didn't improve in that competition. All right, maybe the product got a little bit prettier on the pitch and the football improved from Emery's football to Arteta's. But the reality says we're not a better team in general.
Can you see what he's trying to do?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not going to take over with the same players and immediately, all of a sudden, Kolasinac turns into Dani Alves, doesn't it? You know what I mean? or something like that. He's still got the same players. So can you not see? We were debating it earlier. I don't think Arteta wants to play three at the back.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to go into a game against Tottenham playing 3 at the back, but he knows if I don't play 3 at the back, we'll get absolutely battered. So I have to play that with the defenders I've got. So this is why I look on it and I say I still see, but even in today's game, I saw positives in our style of play. I saw positives in what we were trying to do. We were trying to be positive. Again, though, it's individual errors right from the start of the game, right through. That is still there. It's plain to see.
So from some of them individual mistakes, of course, what can Arteta do about Kolasinac playing a foolish ball back with his right foot? Why is he playing that ball? Mustafi, I see one point where Kane was running up Mustafi in the second half. And I thought Harry Kane had morphed into Pele or something because Mustafi's sliding all over the pitch. I'm thinking, did this man do a trick that I missed or something? But listen, my problem with Arteta is, I was watching that game thinking Tottenham played 48 hours later than us. We played Tuesday, they played Thursday. They were looking tired. And I felt like when you're playing against a decent opposition, you have to finish them off. We did the same thing against Leicester. We didn't finish them off. We got punished. Against Wolves, the warning signs were there. Traore missed a one-on-one. We got away with it that day. So what I'm questioning with Arteta is, what are you telling the players when you go 1-0 up? Why do we keep retreating and kind of saying, let's hang on to 1-0? I agree with you. I don't think he does want to play 3 at the back, but we know these defenders aren't good enough. But then on the flip side, why are we giving these men new contracts? The first thing Arteta should be saying is, you know what? Let me get through this season with what I got. If I got to patch up the defence and play 3, I'll do it. Don't get overhyped on Mustafi having good games against Southampton to give him a new deal, or David Luiz a new deal. Get rid of as much of this deadwood as you can and then bring in quality. We have to change what we've got. And, the whole Mourinho thing, I'm not going to be smug about it because, this guy's the Tottenham manager. I would have rather we beat them 4-0 today and you could have said, you know what, Kurt, you got it wrong. I would have rather took that because it's the benefit of our team. But to me, I think Mourinho had a lot of know-how in that performance today with his team. You kind of know if you play against Arsenal's defence, if you ask enough questions of them, they're going to make defensive errors at some stage. I
said earlier to the guys, I said it on the stream. I said, for me, people might say it's a Mourinho masterclass. Actually, I could have a masterclass against Arsenal because I would just say the same thing. Just stay in the game. Stay in the game. He's not going to make mistakes, and that's all you got to do when you play Arsenal. Stay in the game. Don't try and contain the attack. Stay in the game. They'll give you chances. Not only did we give him chances, though, I didn't know we were going to hand them to him on a plate like how we did. It's unbelievable.
It was ridiculous.
City next week, any chance? That's all we can play for, really. The FA Cup. Can we?
Oh my God. Rob, honestly, right now, yeah, like that's a scary game for me because on the big Wembley pitch with Sterling and them man there with our defence, right about now, I'm worried about that. But you just never know. I remember a few years ago we beat City in the semi-final, but you know, the reason I wanted Mourinho as manager, right, is because I felt like the situation at the club, it required know-how because it's a big mess. I kind of feel sorry for Arteta. You know, you got Mesut Ozil at home, 350k playing Fortnite. You got Aubameyang. You know, we don't know whether he's going to be here or not next year. One player I want to big up today, Dani Ceballos, deserved to win that game with that performance today because a guy who's been on loan at the club for 10, 11 months, he's showing more pride for the badge than players who've been at the club for years. To me, I walked away from that game at the end of the game. I felt flat. I felt like I can't connect with a lot of these players. You know, even when we've had worse teams with Danielson and Bentner and all these, man, I actually had more pride in those teams because even though some of them players were rubbish, they at least put 100% effort in. I looked at some of them players today, I thought, does that really hurt you enough? You know, I'm hurting, you're hurting, all our fans are hurting. How are we going to move forward overall? Because I feel like Arteta's hands are tied at the moment. And a lot of the reason I think they went for Arteta, without being disrespectful, is I think they felt like they could control him. They could manipulate him. Then, you know, Arteta's not going to demand 150 million in the next window. Mourinho would have. Allegri would have.
Well, apparently he did I haven't seen it, he did an interview today where he was more or less saying, you know, after the game, yeah, that's what I've got. It's like a lot of people are saying it was like directed at the board. Yo, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to have until you give me better. And he's right.
He's right, man, because Arteta, look, let's be honest. He's got an opportunity to make a big career for himself in football management. I'm sure he'd have one eye on the Barcelona job in the future. If he comes to Arsenal and this is a shambles, you ain't never going to get that opportunity. So he needs to be brave and go to the board and say, yo, listen, unless you back me, this job is impossible because it is impossible. The players aren't good enough. You know, the defense has not been good enough for probably 10, 15 years. We've seen the same mistakes happen over and over again. And, you know, the league's kind of over. You know, do we even play a full strength team against Liverpool? You wouldn't bother. Put Aubameyang on the bench.
I'd rest those guys for the Man City game.
Yeah. No, I agree with you because, you know, what's the point running around against Liverpool, tiring ourselves out? It's difficult. It's very difficult to be an Arsenal fan and get behind what's happening because it feels like we're slipping further and further away at the moment.
Nice one, man.
Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.